This is Pastor Mike Robinson, and I'm a certified nutritionist. So I'm not selling anything, so you can trust me. What I've seen and with research and gleaned from there, this is very, very important on supplements. What supplements should you be taking? Whatever you do, don't just keep reading online and think that you can self-medicate or self-supplement yourself, but see a trained professional or a medical doctor who knows something about nutrition. Most medical doctors don't. You can either email me or leave a comment on this YouTube channel or get a hold of me on Facebook messaging and we'll get back to you if you want some nutritional advice. We do programs for everybody. So here's the deal. You got to take folate, which is a type of B vitamin. Take folate, especially you men. It tends to reduce the symptoms that can lead to heart disease. Folate is very, very important. Get a B complex vitamin if you can also, but here's the deal. When you read about B complex and you hear about whether it's B negative or it's positive, some people don't understand this. Recently, some of the B vitamins that seem to be related to B vitamins that have always been in a B vitamin complex, choline and inositol, they've found are not good for you. So be very, very careful. Don't get a B complex with choline and inositol. Even though most of the people at the health food store or most of the things online or the people you talk to will say, yes, get one with choline and inositol. It helps lower cholesterol. There's other problems there. We won't cover that today. Now, I'm going to give you some of the supplements I take and show you why. You'll see they're from different companies because I have nothing to sell. I'm trying to give you the unvarnished truth about the supplements. Resveratrol, very, very important. It lowers the chance of heart disease and cancer, mainly affecting what they think is the telomeres, which these are, and we're going to talk about these in a little bit, these are part of your genes, and as the end of your telomeres gets reduced more and more, kind of like a nail, if you had a fingernail, gets smaller and smaller until you finally die of old age. So that's what telomeres, that's how they affect. So you want your telomeres as long as possible, like when you were young. Resveratrol helps keep the length long. Also helps reduce negative gene expression. Say your parents died of certain diseases, and you're thinking, man, I'm going to catch that. I know I'm going to get that. Not necessarily. If you take certain supplements and do other things that we're going to talk about today. So that's resveratrol. Also, you must get acidophilus. The type of acidophilus you want to get, don't just get the most expensive, don't get the cheapest. You want to get one that has acidophilus in it, vulgaris and bifidus, but talk to your doctor, talk to your certified nutritionist. Next one is fish oils. Best way to get fish oils is fatty fish with salmon or something like that. If you don't like fish like me, take a supplement, but take it with food. Talk to your doctor first because it thins the blood. As we're going to get into, we'll see how that relates. Next one, magnesium. They found that about 70-80% of men who have heart attacks have low magnesium levels. Got to get magnesium. What kind of magnesium? What should it be chelated with? You need to talk to somebody who's trained and professional. Why? Here's one reason. When you take magnesium by itself, and then later take your calcium, it has a different effect on your body in a positive way than when you take calcium and magnesium together. And the ratio has to be at least 1-to-1 throughout the day, your magnesium and your calcium. So these factors come into play that you're not going to understand when you look on the online information on nutrition. Remember, mostly online nutritional information is because people are selling products. So be very careful there. Next one, vitamin D. We'll get into this even more in a little bit. You got to get vitamin D, but don't take too much of it. There's one of those things I'm telling you about. You need to understand or talk to somebody who's a trained professional. Vitamin D, too little of it, which most Americans, 70%, have too little vitamin D, leads to problems with your health. It leads to negative gene expression. But if you have enough vitamin D in your system, it lowers the negative gene expression and boosts the positive gene expression that lengthens your life and so forth. So get vitamin D, but you need to know how much to take. I would say, talk to your nutritionist, talk to your doctors, or get a profile from me, but take maybe one a day at 5,000 IUs at the most. Take it with food. Okay? Next one, alfalfa. Wonderful product. It's got a lot of vitamins in it, a lot of minerals in it. Some research has shown it helps with arthritis. The problem with the pills is they're hard to swallow. Every company I've ever had, they're hard to swallow, so you might want to get the powder. They have a lot of chlorophyll in them. Chlorophyll is very, very, very good for you. Chlorophyll is very closely related to human blood, except it has a magnesium molecule instead of an iron molecule. Next one is kyolic garlic. Recent research has shown that it lowers cholesterol and even takes off plaque from the arteries. You have to take enough of it, you have to take it with food, and it's even better than fresh garlic, and we all know fresh garlic is great for you. Next one would be turmeric. Turmeric is tremendous. It's one of those supplements that you have to take if at all possible. The problem is though, it's a blood thinner. So if you're taking aspirin to thin your blood to reduce heart attack risk, you got to be careful and not possibly take turmeric. And it also relates to fish oil because they're both blood thinners. So you have to talk to somebody in the know. Next one would be stinging nettle. If you have allergies, this is the best herb that you can take. It's better than the pharmaceuticals. Pharmaceuticals mask the symptoms, but they don't help you. This actually reduces the inflammation that's involved in allergies. Stinging nettle, you want to take that with food. Vitamin E is very, very important, but you have to know, don't want to take too much of it. I recommend for most people 200 IUs, depending on your lifestyle, depending on your genetics, with food. And then, on the days that you don't take vitamin E, take vitamin E, that's a particular product that's related to vitamin E, tocotrienols. I take this once or twice a week. Very, very powerful in helping reduce heart disease and keeping you very, very healthy, your mind, reducing the chance of Alzheimer's, but you don't want to take too much of it. I take 1 or 2 a week, and when I do that, I don't take vitamin E on that day. I don't want to get too much vitamin D in my system. Selenium, very effective if you catch a cold. 4 or 5 at one time, 3 or 4 times during the day will help. If you're feeling the cold symptoms come, it will help reduce those symptoms, and perhaps you won't even catch the cold or the flu. But you can only take it for a short time because selenium can be a poison and can build up. So don't take this unless you talk to a professional. Don't do it unless you talk to somebody who knows what they're doing. So vitamin D regulates in a healthy way the length of telomeres, and it helps with positive gene expression. So telomere length is very closely related to aging. The longer they are, the longer you're going to live. The shorter they are, the closer you are to dying of old age. That's just the way it is. And vitamin D is one of the best things for that, as is resveratrol, as we talked about earlier. You don't want too much vitamin D because that could bring other problems in your life, including too much calcium in your blood. Prayer also affects telomere length. It lengthens it, so that means the more you pray, the longer you're going to live, at least in touching on this particular factor. Exercise helps a lot too. Has to be hard exercise, given for 20 to 30 minutes or more, but not too long. And then the next one would be resveratrol, as we talked about earlier. So see a trained nutritionist or a doctor who's trained in nutrition, and understand studies that are online and all the information on there is filled with half-truths or misstatements or understanding research incorrectly, and they're telling you these things. And most of the material online, some of it's even good, is about selling products. As you can see by all those I brought forth, these are different companies because I don't get any money from that. So try to do that. But if you can, try to take magnesium, try to take vitamin D, try to take resveratrol, and try to take stinging nettle if you can. So changing your gene expression can happen. If you look at your history of your family and you say, well, both my parents died really, really young, so I'm stuck. No, not necessarily. The new research, which is the clarity of this research is only about a decade old now, has demonstrated that gene expression that's negative, that can lower your life, can be reduced, and the positive, healthy, long life gene expression can be increased and stirred up. So think about exercising, think about prayer, think about taking vitamin D and resveratrol. And this is Pastor Mike Robinson. Until next time, saying may God bless you.
Hey guys, please subscribe to our channel. It really helps us a lot. Additionally, don't forget to join our Full Access Media experience. We want you to know that Cross and Crown Full Access is now available for just $7.99 a month. Full Access provides an enjoyable Christian media experience. Every day we produce biblical, entertaining, and Christ-centered programs for you on demand. Sign up for Cross and Crown Full Access and get every television show, the after show, a free book monthly, and all our academic work at your command. All just one click away at gospeltruthshow.podbean.com. Help us reach the world.